Alright, so Gearshaft Assembly finally came in. I just had to get a new one. Just don't have the workspace facilities to straighten the other one. Anyways, here's the new one. Brand new, 130 bucks here in Japan. If you watch the second part of the video, but I had to take out the C-spring to a washer, to the spring, to another C-spring. This comes installed with the piece. However, after this C-clamp right here, there should be a washer. Then at the end, where it comes in on the gear shift pedal, where's it? This notch right here should have, we're gonna need a C-clip, and then before this C-clip is another washer. So it doesn't come with all the parts that should have. So, but just saying that, so you save the old stuff. Now I cleaned this off and I made my own gasket. Long story short, but with the price differences here, they wanted to like 12 bucks for a gasket and almost $20 for this washer. So guess what? I'm reusing the washer. I made my own damn gasket. Shit's getting too expensive for what happened. Anyways, as I said, there's only one way this orients in. So, and when it's nice and straight, it should go in like butter, like so. Okay, so, but before we do anything, we need to put a washer in there. Put that in. This spring here and cotter springs over here, these are all ready to go, so it's a matter of just putting it in the right way, and there's only one way to put it in. Okay, now I'll flip over to the other side. Big question is, can I get this clip on with my Excalibur screwdriver and not have to take off my flywheel and clutch and all that other stuff? So, be right back. Well, I think this is gonna work, so unfortunately, take the clutch off. Okay, real quick, I got it on my clutch video too, but when you start taking this apart, start thinking like here is your starter. So your starter flywheel, to flywheel to clutch primary. These terms might not be right, look it up. But this is the sequence you gotta have. A lot of times if you mess with this, it can domino down here and be out of gearing. Just make sure when you button everything up, everything's nice and tight the way it should be. Real common mistake for this to happen. All right. Okay, once again you can see it on my other video, but it's a smooth side and a lip side. The smooth side goes towards the engine. Okay, so I get the flywheel off. It's a T30. Because it's flywheel going right to the starter, you turn this, it's going to turn the whole system. I mean, that's the purpose of it. So T30, I got the clutch tool thing. Then my breaker bar, can't really see it, but I just let it go down to the ground. I use that as leverage so that when I go to take this off, I got resistance. Then on these torques, just make sure you got a good hold on it and you feel it unseating. If you don't feel it unseating, you probably need to get an impact driver and give it a few taps, because these will strip. Here we go. 1 gear, 2 gear type thing, and then the clip will go back on real quick. There's like a cover plate for this. And it's just 2 screws. And then it should come out nice and clean. Yeah, like that. So, just so you can get a look at it. You guys never saw your insides before. I don't know if I can. Let's see if I can just take this whole thing out with this in. Nice thing is just so to lock my clutch plates in. Oh yeah, like butter. Now we got all the room in the world. You can see that comes out all one piece like that. That's actually your clutch right in there. Wait for G shits to the wheel to your plates. Okay. Then you got your feed pipe. And then I believe, without reviewing the manual, but right behind here is your oil pump. And now you got all the room in the world. It'll take me 2 seconds and put all the shit back on. Then, but there isn't much room between the spacer to that groove to pop this clip on. Now with my bear-sized meat hooks, I wouldn't be able to do this with leaving everything installed. One C-clip installed. Oh, that had 2 seconds. Oh well. I'm just having fun looking at stuff right now. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I'm a dork. Okay, back at you. Alright, took us all but 10 seconds to put that clip on. So now it's time to put everything back on. Start with this clutch. You'll see, I don't want to lose my plates. That's splined. Okay, as I said before, patience is the name of the game. Fitting this in. Everything's such a awesomely tight fit. Part of the reason why your training runs so well on these bikes. So there's a back plate wheel on this that has like a star pattern figure studs to female ends that you have to get that lined up, and then it'll come flush within here. This flywheel is a little bit easier because it's only gonna marry up to your starter drive here to these teeth, and then there's gonna be just, minuscule clearance on the other side, but it only marries into this piece right here, the front larger tooth sprocket, whatever you want to call it, of your starter drive. So let's get this oriented right. That usually helps. Yeah. Get these in. of the day, I guess I was just being lazy. Obviously better take it apart where you can get your hands in there, but sometimes it's nice just to be able to get in and get it done. Now this is, it's going to turn on us again, so I use the breaker bar for leverage on this so I can get it set to 16 meters. Let's use this breaker bar. Alright, this bolt here is set at 105 Newton meters per the OEM manual. Okay, so on this one, got the clutch tool. Isn't that video on this? But if you're watching, you can just watch one, whatever. Get the plate set in this, and then that's gonna screw into your two mounts, and it's gonna open up the other two to get your initial springs set. So, get the springs set in this one. And then get this covered. Oh my god, I'm so fucking dumb. Okay. Word of correction. When you're doing this, all four springs have to be in and ready to go. Don't be a freaking retard like me. All four springs. And I'm gonna hold her and lever and cheat. Which way did it go, George? Which way did it go? And line up these fine mamma jammas again. We're going any further. Let's give it a little test. Yep. Okay. One thing I like to do as this gets dry, but every oil change. I get to put it in dry. And then going to go a lot quicker. Set these real quick. On this. Got my bearings just because I want to. So we dry a little bit. Kind of work it back and forth. Go. There you go. Get all the references you want there for you guys. I don't want to hear about them. Alright, so we're ready to button up this side of our fix. So I make my own gaskets. It's just something easy to do. Save a little bit of money. If not, they got part numbers for gaskets as well. One thing I do like to do is I take and smear, maybe smear is a wrong term, but very light coat of silicone on this. And then on my gaskets, I just take a little jug of oil I showed you, and I just enough to wet it and get it, kind of charge it, if you lack a better word. And I've had good luck with doing it that way. I've had good luck with my gaskets and not blowing oil all over the place and holding the way they should. So this silicone, man, a lot goes a long ways. And like I said, I just do real light. So I just put on fingertip, and I'm just gonna paint. That's enough so it covers the material. If it doesn't, I mean, once it dries off, put a little bit more on. But I'm just kind of talking because I'm doing right now. But you will see that very little bit of this goes a good long ways. You don't have to gob this up. I don't know. Just kind of making a really good sealant surface for the gasket. That's all you're doing. I don't really know why. Unfortunately, I'm not a pro at this. I would like to be, but not what I ended up doing. But I hear a lot of stories where people take their covers off, and this is just Triumph, this is all stuff, but people take their covers off and put it back on. It just seems like you can never get the same seal that what comes at the factory. So I used to have that problem too. But then I learned about this. This really does the trick nice. So coat that up. And then of course getting the old stuff clean, which what I was saying earlier with the nail polish remover, that'll really do the trick nice for you. Everything else with this stuff, man, just patience. Keep that scraper at a certain angle and don't dig in. Do not dig into the metal. So get this going. And the black cover's on now. I think it's gonna look pretty cool, this whole thing blackened out. So as my 5-year-old tells me, gotta make it more black. He's like, Daddy, you gotta be tough. You're not tough enough, Daddy. So I got my marching orders, so now I'm gonna try to be a tough guy. Right. Another thing I will do on your clutch cover here. Let me show you on the. Yeah, the sun's bright today. You got a gasket, rubber gasket here and here. Make sure those seals are in here, are in good. But in here, there's bearings. Here, on the inside, right there. That's where the gear shaft's gonna go through. Now I'll go and hit it up with a light coat of grease before I get this popped on. 50% grease and 50% oil. That's the kind of grease you want for this stuff. Per the manual. This is just me talking out my ass, but that's what the manual calls for. I'm gonna hit that on. Now, for anything else, it's a hugely missed item, including my videos that I missed it before. But your wavy washer, do not forget it. Get it on. If you want like a full rambling on explanation, watch the other video, because I really blabber about that. Okay. Homemade gasket. Yes, that's not Triumph bought, man. No, I'm not gonna make it for you either. $20 for one. So, get the gasket on. Let's get this puppy back on. Oh god damn, that is black. It looks good. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. I like. There's some short ones that go over on the toe portion of this. This is going to be set at 10 Newton meters. moving right along. Clutch set. Put my little pretty little jewelry back on. Hide that ugly ass clutch arm, swing arm. Put the shifter back on. Now, looking at this closer, the stem part is straight, which is good. There's a bolt that goes through the toe that bent just a little bit, but you know what? It's gonna shift that way because it's going back on. Like so. A notch to the open part, and then you know you're good. You put that flush. Tighten this off, and then the foot bracket's gone back on, foot peg. And I'll be back, catch you on the other side, the gearbox.